Hey climbers, Brent here. Are you ready to write your best songs ever? Are you ready to take that next step in your songwriting journey? Well, I want to help you with that. Listening to the C.L.I.M.B podcast is a great way to get started on your songwriting journey and to learn the basics about the art, the craft, and the business of songwriting. But eventually, you're probably going to need the personal touch. You're probably going to need some one-on-one feedback, some advice, and some help reaching your songwriting goals. And that's what I want to help do for you. I want to help you write your best songs ever. And I want to help you learn the art, the craft, and the business of songwriting, of how to turn pro in your mind and in your behavior before you ever turn pro on paper, before you ever have the awards to hang on the wall. I want to give you the mindsets and the skills to earn that stuff. And so we'll dive into your questions and I'll give you honest answers. And I can help repair your song if it's already written but has a couple bugs and has some opportunities to get better. Or we can help prepare your song if you have an idea, a notion, a title. We can do your own private song title challenge if you want. If you want to get ready for a co-write, if you have a meeting coming up and you want to get your stuff locked down where it's the best it can be, I'm happy to help you do that as well. You can see my calendar, get all the details, and actually book a session at songwritingpro.com/coaching. That is songwritingpro.com/coaching. Now, if you're still not sure if a coaching session with me is the right thing for you, let's listen to what this climber had to say about their session.
The first time I met with Brent was an hour session, face-to-face on Skype. I was pretty excited to have the opportunity for some back and forth discussion about my songs, because up until then I had been pressing send on the computer and waiting for days for a written general critique. With the written critiques, I was finding that sometimes I was left trying to interpret them on my own and then comb through what I know to fix what I thought they were getting at. But Brent provided real-time interactive feedback based on a solid and deliberate method. It didn't feel random and definitely didn't feel like judgment. In the end, I went away with solution-based critique that made perfect sense to me. I remember being a little worried about wasting time in my session trying to think of every question that I might have so that I could make the very most of it. But once he dove in, and it's kind of a magical thing to witness, his brain just turns and churns until every nook and cranny of that song has been considered, and I just wasn't left with many questions at all. The best thing after my session was just being able to see a clear path ahead and feeling also like my own brain is clicking a whole bunch faster after trying to keep up with his crazy acrobatic ninja fighter type brain. So I highly recommend sessions with Brent.
Song title challenge.
All right, guys, welcome to another mini-sode of Song Title Challenge, where the question is, climbers, how would you write this one? We have listeners of the podcast. We call them climbers affectionately. They send in their best titles to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com. Send in as many as you want. We put them in the folder, and then Brent and I record the podcast. I spring them live during the recording, and we mimic what happens in the first 15 minutes of a pro write, where we have a title, but before we start going off on the lyrics and putting pen to paper, we're just trying to cook up at least 4 or 5 different conceptual approaches for the same title. How can we twist it up? This is not a co-write in any way, shape, or form. It's just a fun, creative exercise that will, number one, make you a better writer no matter what. And number two, even bigger, is breathe a whole lot of life into that hook book of song titles from 5 years ago that you haven't even thought about in forever. So it feels like wilted lettuce. But if you go back and do a song title challenge on them, all of a sudden you can reignite the spark in that and be like, wow, man, let's bring this to the forefront, right?
Amen.
So you own 100% of the song. Use everything we say, use nothing, but just invite us to the number one party, right?
Amen. We do like those, even if they're virtual these days.
Anything else you want to comment on that, buddy?
No, I just want to use this to encourage you to dig more deeply into your titles, because a title is not an idea. A title is just words. It's what you make those words mean. That's your song idea. So you want to find the best, most compelling idea to go with that title. So, yeah, let's do it.
There you go. All right, so this is from climber Judy Blue.
Judy Blue.
And the song title is 2 Tickets Home.
All right, 2 Tickets Home.
2 Tickets Home. Yeah.
Let's see. All right, thanks, Judy, for sending that in. So I'm a country hammer most of the time, so most things look like country nails, but we'll see if we can apply these to some different genres as well. That's one of the fun of being multi-genre. I'm transgenre. Today I might identify as a country artist or a songwriter. Tomorrow I might identify as a Southern gospel. Anyway, so let's see here. I'm buying time to figure out what to do with this title. So 2 Tickets Home.
Not 2 Tickets to Paradise, 2 Tickets Home. But it
That's
could be
right.
2 Tickets to Paradise, depending on what a home.
Depending on
is that a home run?
what we make home mean. And that's something I thought about too. So as far as the title, it's interesting. It kind of begs a question a little bit, like who are these tickets for and why, right? What's the story? It kind of maybe is a little intriguing. It has some alliteration with 2 tickets and has a nice O kind of rhyme at the end of it. So like, opened for some rhymes, with home. Go, flow, no, whatever, I like that. I'm already thinking of rhyming possibilities. So I want to know what the story is. I think of some country songs I've heard before, like a Bible and a bus ticket home, and that kind of stuff, where maybe somebody's, going off to college and like, hey, here's a bus ticket home, but this is 2 tickets home. So like, who are these 2 people? That's what I want to figure out here.
Right. Who are the 2 people and what does home mean?
Yeah.
This could go a lot of ways, huh?
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to figure out here. Like, okay, maybe it's, a man and a wife, a brother and sister. Man, 2 tickets home.
I'm thinking about your 2 kids. I'm thinking about the first 2 kids you adopted.
We adopted. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we had to get 2 extra tickets back home, right? And the place had never been before. Let's see here. One thing, like putting a kind of a Southern gospel slant on it, or country gospel kind of storytelling thing. It's kind of like you've heard the thing about they don't make hearses with trailer hitches. You've never seen a hearse with a trailer hitch. Like you can't take it with you when you go. Also, your relationship with God and Jesus is your relationship. Like you can't buy an extra ticket. You can't buy 2 tickets home. Like you can't bring a friend. Everyone has their own personal relationship. It's an individual thing.
Oh, I never would have thought of that. That's good.
Could be that kind of thing, which is like you got to make your own decision. Your mama or your daddy, your wife can't buy y'all 2 tickets home. You got to get your own ticket, which is kind of tricky to get that across. Anyone's welcome, but you got to have your own ticket in your name, not anyone else's. So there's that thought. Maybe is a man and wife going back home for a funeral of an estranged parent or someone.
That could be a deep one. Like you could go into a social statement on abuse, child abuse, maybe spousal abuse that was witnessed by the kids, and that would relate to so many people and can be really, really heavy. And it's all in the framework of what you're thinking about when you're buying those 2 tickets home, and maybe even how you relate that to your spouse. You vowed you'd never treat another person that way or have a life like that, but then there's got to be some pause that's given. If you have to go back for that funeral of that person and you're taking your spouse with you, it's almost like you're bringing her into that world all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
Like you're exposing her or him to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That could be a thing,
That could
too.
be heavy, man. That could be cool. Wow. Yeah.
One thing I'm thinking of, too, is like 1 ticket there and 2 tickets home. Maybe it's more of a happy love thing. Like, I bought 1 ticket out, but I'm buying 2 tickets home. I left the town. Then I found her, and I'm bringing her back.
Yep.
Like, I'm bringing her back to meet the folks.
Oh.
And so that could be more of a positive thing. It's like, I bought 1 ticket the hell out of there, but I'm buying 2 tickets home. Like, now I'm bringing her to meet mom and daddy, and that sort of thing. So that could be more of a positive love thing. And like the 1 ticket away, 2 tickets home could be kind of cool too. Like I'm bringing someone back with me, or 3 tickets out, 2 tickets home. Ooh, who didn't come back?
Oh,
I'm thinking someone left with the kid. Military thing could be cool. Yeah. Maybe somebody that's reconciling with an estranged spouse. They left and took the kid, but now they're buying 2 tickets home. Like they're going to try it again. So many options. A lot of these I can't relate to, and it's not my story. Like I can think of like broad strokes. Oh, you could do this. As a writer, you want to put your own personal, whatever it is, story and what you can relate to emotionally, or you or your co-writer can relate to really build something that's authentic. Like I could write around some stuff, but if I haven't lived this or don't have some sort of really emotional touchstone to hook into this, it's going to not resonate
nearly as what it could. So if you're listening out there, it's like, what's compelling, but also what can I write from a place of authenticity and connection point to it is important. Not just like, ooh, that's interesting, but it's not authentic. It's not going to resonate as much.
The specificity that comes in the description of a personal account is what's going to tear the flesh from bone, or what's really going to drive it home.
Yeah, and as professionals, we can fake that some. I've had good success with songs that I didn't live the details, but we can put ourselves in there enough to add those details as if we were. That's part of the gig too. But still, there's some sort of connection to it.
Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. I think that's the message.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it didn't really happen to you, I can still show you bruises from hits that never happened, all right? So as a writer, that's part of it. But 2 Tickets Home, I wonder, like, somebody bringing their child home for the first time. Like, this girl that got pregnant got sent away and she's buying 2 tickets home. I'm bringing my child home.
Ooh.
I mean, there's so many options. It feels like a very story-heavy thing. And that could be dark. That could be happy. I wonder if there's a way to make it like a current country hit single that's not heavy on story. Maybe it's like, Girl, You Make Me Want to Buy 2 Tickets Home. Instead of the story about he left, he bought 1 ticket away, now he's buying 2 tickets home because he found the girl and this whole big thing. And this has been done recently. Like Sam Hunt had Kinfolk, and that's a common kind of thing. Like, I want to take you home to mama. So it's not super fresh, but it's also a real deal. Like that point of that relationship was that Ingrid song, More Hearts Than Mine. I'm going to take you home to meet my family kind of thing. But it could be, Girl, You Make Me Want to Buy 2 tickets home. I moved out here alone. Girl, you make me want to buy 2 tickets home. As a way of saying, I want to take you home to mama. That could be a cool thing. As more of a direct address, me singing to you. Here's a happy love song. So you could have the tempo, you could have all this stuff. Girl, I moved out here alone, but you're making me want to buy 2 tickets home. So that you could be like, I want to take you home to meet the folks. Or now that we're together, let's move to the small town. Let's get out of the big city. Let's move to the small town. I moved to the city alone, but now I want to buy 2 tickets home. I want to get out of the rat race. I want to get out of the big city life. Let's just move home. Or it could be, again, I want to take you home to beat the folks. Let's buy 2 tickets home. So I think that would be pretty strong. Like, I moved out here alone, or I came out here alone, but you make me want to buy 2 tickets home. So it has the rhyme. It has the kind of the whole kind of thing, Let's see here. I like that one a lot, and that feels like a much more of a current country kind of thing, or even a pop thing.
Yeah.
But taking you home to meet the folks may not be as much of a pop sensibility.
What about different kinds of tickets? What other kinds of tickets are there? Does it have to be a travel ticket? It feels like it does because of home, but is there a rock you can turn over there?
Well, this is a different shading of that, so it's not a different type of ticket, but just a different type of home. It could be, Girl, Wherever We Go. It's 2 tickets home. Like being on the road, anywhere with you is home. Like, Girl, Anywhere We Go. It's 2 tickets home. Home is with you. So wherever we go, it could be Paris, it could be Paris, Tennessee. It doesn't matter. Anywhere we go, it's like buying 2 tickets home because I'm there with you. So you can riff on what home means. So home, heaven, home, your hometown.
Home run, sexually.
Home. So what are those 2 tickets? Are those free drink tickets that we got when we showed up at the event?
Home is like getting a good buzz on a Saturday night or something.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, moving to a place you haven't been before. Like, I didn't fly to Nashville. I drove. But if I'd had to fly and I brought someone with me, it would have been like buying 2 tickets home, even though I'd never lived there before. Yeah, what are some other things that could be tickets? Because you'd have to explain that and make that clear. Yeah, what are these 2 tickets?
How about a military thing, but not like a sad military thing, like a happy military thing? You never heard the most glorious words in the world where 2 tickets home is like you and your best friend are going home to your families or something in the military, and you take it from like a POV of a soldier or something like that.
Yeah, man. It's like we're going to get those 2 tickets home. That's interesting, too, because part of what's limiting and making it a little trickier is going 2.
Yeah.
So who are these 2 people? It's not just I got a ticket home, which could be a soldier like, whew, I made it, or we're waiting on him to get a ticket home. But yeah, it's like, man, what we wanted were 2 tickets home. And because you got your best boy that you roll with in the military, right? Like, that's my dog, that's my guy. And especially if it's in a time of conflict, man, we're just, we're waiting on those 2 tickets home. And either way, you're going to get that, whether it's you live to see it or not, right? You're going to get that ticket home. They're flying you home. as long as there's a body, right?
Right.
Horizontal or vertical, you're getting a ticket. And so you could play with that too. One made it and one didn't, but there's still 2 tickets home.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now here's another twist on that. What if the second ticket, whether it's alive or whether it's dead, was a dog?
Was a dog?
Yeah, like a military dog, right? Like a bomb-sniffing dog or something like that.
Okay.
Like, well, I'm a relatively sensitive guy. I'm not afraid to shed a tear in a movie, but I can't watch those dang dog movies, man. Like Marley and Me and that stuff, no way. It just, I'm a mess. I can't watch it. Like, if you want the easy way in to just rip somebody's heart out and make them feel something, talk about that dog. You know what I mean? like, oh, God. Just thinking about it makes me tear up. So what if the casket's a dog and you got to bring the dog back?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Military dogs, police dogs, they have high regard. Not that a family dog isn't or something, but I mean, they're institutionally
it's a different thing.
Worshipped. All dogs are institutionally worshipped, I hope, in the house. But let's just say that the military dogs and the police dogs have bigger institutions that worship them.
Right, yeah. My life maybe doesn't depend on that dog as much. I got my little guard dog, Poppy, who's like, cradle it like a baby. Little have-a-poo.
Yeah.
My life doesn't depend on Poppy.
Yeah.
Poppy's not going to save my life, sniff out a bomb, or find a body.
I mean, that's some pretty good looks right there for what we got.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe one of them's bringing the other one back. You have the honor guard. I think the fallen soldiers back home. And what if it was a buddy or just that's deep on story. So maybe more of Americana folk, traveling soldier kind of thing could be really compelling. But a lot of those could. So that's like on one end, which is heavy. Like, man, 2 soldiers, maybe one of them didn't make it, but they always dreamed like, man, we're going to get our 2 tickets home. And then on the other end, you have the dude going, girl, I moved out here alone, but you maybe want to buy 2 tickets home. Which is just I'm falling in love and I'm happy. I want you to meet my mama. That's the thing about these titles. Again, a title is not an idea. It's what you make it mean. That's an idea. You walk in and go, I got an idea. What is it? 2 tickets home.
Yeah.
That's not an idea.
That's right. That's a title.
That's not an idea. What we've been doing is figuring out a compelling idea.
Yeah.
That we'd want to write. And then you run it through your own meat grinder of what do I want to say? What's my voice as a writer? Who am I writing for? What's the audience? All that stuff to figure out, which one you want to roll with. Because there are different ways to do it.
Yep. I think that's good. Man. So Judy Blue wants to work with you on this one-on-one. What can she do?
Yeah, so I do songwriter consulting. I do coach writing, which is basically, hey, we sit virtually, like usually over Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or something, and actually work on building a song together or something you bring in and help you. Basically, I can help you prepare your song. I can help you repair your song. So I do song feedbacks, critiques, do Q&A about the art, the craft, the business of songwriting, or I can sit down and help you write a song from scratch or from something you bring in. You can get all the details on that. You can see my calendar, and you can book the appointment at songwritingpro.com/coaching. That is songwritingpro.com/coaching.
There you go, guys. It's another killer episode of Song Title Challenge. Once again, send in your song titles, as many as you want, to info@daredevilproduction.com. Put Song Title Challenge in the subject line so it gets into the right folder. And maybe we'll just take care of it here on the air.
That's
this
right.
podcast exists because we want you to win, so keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.
Song Title Challenge.